Hello friends, Mandar here. I'm back with another video. Today we have a couple of important topics. One, follow-up to my previous video regarding EB1A. But this time we are going to talk about the revocation and why they are happening. I already told a lot of people who talked to me regarding what are the cautions that they should take. But regardless, let's discuss this in this video. We'll also talk about the July 2025 Visa Bulletin. What are the trends that we are seeing? What is that we can expect for the remainder of the fiscal year? We'll also talk about the new form for 485, I-485. There are a couple of new things that you need to keep in mind when you or your lawyer fills out that form. And lastly, for those who are traveling, those who are doing their visa stamping, and those who are getting their green cards, make sure you pay attention to the visa overstays. There is a new crackdown that is happening by CBP, by ICE, and by uscis for the visa overstayers and how it can impact you, if anything. So a lot of important topics, guys. Watch this video until the end and let's get started. If you are here for the first time, welcome. My name is Mandar and I make immigration and lifestyle related videos for US and Canada. I'm not an immigration lawyer, so anything that I say on this video or on my channel is for information purpose only. And for your specific immigration needs, before you take any action, you should hire a competent immigration lawyer. Now check out the links in the description because those are affiliate links, especially those of the Ultra Human Ring. If you use the code Mandar10, you will get 10% discount on your first purchase of your ring. Secondly, I will also like to remind you to put some meaningful comments in the section below, in the comment section below. That is not just for me to get ideas for my new videos, what is trending, but also you could get some answers from the community because there is a discussion that starts when somebody asks a question. It also will put you into the giveaway by the end of June. And if you get any value from my videos, this one or any of the previous one, please don't forget to like the video. It really helps me and the channel because YouTube algorithm will propagate this video to more and more people for them to get this information. I have seen that my videos get minimum likes. Although I don't get any dislikes, I don't get any likes either. The viewers of this channel are incredibly picky and conservative in hitting the like button if I compare those statistics with other channels. So please hit the like button because that will keep me going. With that said, let's jump into the first topic of today, which is the new 485 form.
And that brings me to the sponsor of today's video. Have you ever done the Google search of your own name? Look what I have found when I did mine. Here's what comes up. While some of this information is relevant, the other makes me uncomfortable that my information is exposed for a sale like this. Data brokers sell your information to scammers, spammers, or anybody else who may want to target you. Your full name, email address, home address, your relatives' names, health information, it's all out there. That's why I have been using Aura, sponsor of today's video. Aura shows me which data brokers are selling my information and automatically submits opt-out request for me. Cleaning up my information not only helps reduce the amount of spam I get, but it also protects me from hackers who could use this information to help them access my social media accounts, bank accounts, or other sensitive information. Aura does so much more to protect my information and my family's information from online threats I can't see. I get other features like antivirus, VPN, password management, parental controls, identity theft insurance, and more without having to download several different apps. It's really easy to set up, and best of all, I get everything for one affordable price. You may already have one or two of these tools, but not having Aura is like locking the front door but leaving your back door wide open. Aura is always on, doing the hard work of keeping me safe so I can focus on other tasks with peace of mind. I value my privacy and I value yours. You can go to my link which is on the screen and in the description and start your free 2 weeks trial. So protect your information, your family, and have a peace of mind. That's Aura.
Now this news came out in December. USCIS revised I-485 adjustment of status adjustment to register permanent residence or adjust status. Now what they said back in December was we published a new edition of Form 485 for adjustment of status. Now there are a couple of key things that you want to remember in this form. The new edition of form features these major changes. Requires applicants who need to submit 693, which is a medical. You need to submit the medicals along with 485 so that they have the full package right from the beginning. In the past, this was not a requirement. This was, you could submit your 485, you could submit your EAD and AP application, but you could wait for submitting medicals until later time. The reason was because this form was only valid for 2 years, and if you did not get any activity or any adjudication on your 485 during that time, you had a risk to submit it again. Now what USCIS is saying is that if you can apply for your 485, you have to submit your 485, you have to submit your 693 as well at the same time. Now this requirement is because the 693 is indefinitely valid from now on. So you don't have to worry about submitting it again in the future, even if your adjustment of status takes 5 years or 10 years, your initial 693 medical form will be valid. So this is the first requirement, that submit medicals along with 485 no matter what. So that is the one. Second one is it also enables applicants who are exempt from Form I-864 affidavit of support to request exemption on 485. Now in the past there was a separate request that had to be made if you wanted to be exempt from this affidavit of support form, which was 864W form. Now they are getting rid of this 864W form and getting that information directly in 485 if you need to submit for a waiver of affidavit of support. So that is another important point. The third one is clarification on the form questions about public charge ground or inadmissibility. So the question now will require the applicant to identify their immigrant category so that we can more easily determine whether or not they are exempt from this ground of inadmissibility and can adjudicate the application accordingly. So this will expedite, in theory at least, this will expedite the processing of form of 485 once your date becomes current. And then the last one that they say is the streamlining of the collection of the information, consolidates and clarifies instructions and requirements. So that is understood. So make sure when you apply for your 485, if your date becomes current in the final action chart or in filing date chart during certain time of the year, make sure your lawyer submits the right form, because what they are saying is if you submit the wrong form or if you don't submit your medicals along with your 485, they will send your I-485 back to you. So they will deny your case. So keep that in mind. Now next, we are going to look at the July 2025 Visa Bulletin. We'll compare it with the current Visa Bulletin, which is June 2025. We'll do the side-by-side comparison. We'll spend next few minutes in looking at what are the trends that we can see and what we can expect for the remainder of the year in the Visa Bulletin. After that, there is an important topic on EB1A revocations you don't want to miss. So let's go through the Visa Bulletin first and then we'll go to EB1A. Now, as you can see on the left hand side, I have June 2025 Visa Bulletin, and on the right hand side, I have July 2025 Visa Bulletin. Now, as usual, first we'll look at the family sponsorship section first. So let's go to the final action date of family sponsored preference. Now, what do we see here? F1, the dates have progress for all chargeability from 8th of July 2016 to 15th of July 2016, just by about a week. Now same for China and same for India. So the dates have moved by just about a week. Mexico and Philippines have not changed at all. So F2A has also significantly moved from 1st of January 2022 to 1st of September 2022 for all chargeability China and India. For Mexico, it has progress from 15th of May 2021 to 1st of February 2022, and for Philippines it has moved from 1st of January 2022 to 1st of September 2022, which is great progression for F2A. Remember, this category used to be current, but at least now it's progressing forward since it's got its priority date. Now F2B is also progress from 22nd of September to 15th of October 2016, which is modest improvement by 3 weeks, but it's for all chargeability China and India. Mexico has actually progressed by 1 full year from 1st of January 2006 to 1st of January 2007, and Philippines has progressed from 8th of February 2012 to 15th of April 2012. F3 category has progressed from 22nd of June 2011 to 1st of August 2011, which is about 2 months of progression, a month and a half of progression for all chargeability China and India. Mexico has also progressed from 15th of January 2001 to 1st of February 2001, and Philippines has progressed from 22nd September 2003 to 1st of December 2003. Now, F4 has not changed for all chargeability China and India. All chargeability and China. For India, actually, F4 has progressed 15th of June 2006 to 8th of July 2006. And for Mexico, the date has not changed, but for Philippines, the date has changed from 1st of June 2005 to 1st of January 2006. So good progression in the final action chart for family-based preference category, especially F2A has progressed significantly. There are all categories of dates that have progressed. So this is a good news, which means that they are issuing the green cards at the consulates, US consulates abroad. So this chart for family-based preference category makes use of most of their visa numbers at the consulates, whereas for employment-based category, most of the visa number use is within the country with the USCIS. Now let's look at the filing date chart if anything has changed for the family-based category. Now, I wouldn't expect much, but let's see. There is the F1 category has remained the same for all chargeability China, India, but for Mexico, it has progressed from 1st of September 2017 to 1st of June 2006. 2006 to 2006, so about 2 months. For Philippines, it has remained the same. So F2A category, 1st of February to 1st of March, it has progressed by about 1 month. Mexico and Philippines have also progressed by about a month. Now, F2B category has not progressed. It remains with 1st of January 2017 for all chargeability China and India. For Mexico, it has progressed by 1 full year, 1st of April 2007 to 1st of April 2008, 1 full year for Mexico. And for Philippines, it remains the same. F3 category remains the same for all chargeability China and India. Mexico, it has not progressed also, and for Philippines, it has progressed by 3 months from 22nd of September 2004 to 1st of December 2004. F4 category has progressed for all chargeability China and India from 1st of June 2008 to 8th of September 2008. For India, it remains same, however, at 1st of December 2006. For Mexico, it has not progressed, and for Philippines also, it has not progressed. So it is interesting to see this chart for filing date chart also move progress forward, which means there are lesser applications and more visa numbers. So they are able to progress this to create that demand to use up these visa numbers. So all in all, if I am asked to speculate, this year I might not expect to see much of a spillover from family-based category to employment-based category, unfortunately. But good for family-based category because these visa numbers are getting used up at the consulates. Now let's look at the final action chart for employment-based category. Now EB1 for all chargeability remain current. China has progressed by about a week from 8th of November 2022 to 15th of November 2022. India has remained unfortunately the same. This has been the trend for more than a year now. 15th of February 2022. It is still stuck at that date. Mexico and Philippines remain current. EB2 has not moved for all chargeability. It remains at 15th of October 2023. For China, however, it has moved forward by about 2 weeks to 15th of December 2020. For India, it has remained the same at 1st of January 2013. Mexico and Philippines also remain the same. EB3 has progressed for all chargeability. 8th of February 2023 to 1st of April 2023. Still there is a backlog, so which is not a good news for lateral movement to the backlog countries, lateral spillovers to the backlog countries. For China, the dates have moved for EB3 final action from 22nd of November 2020 to 1st of December 2020. For India, the dates have moved by about a week, which is good news for EB3 from 15th of April 2013 to 22nd of April 2013. So there is a little bit of a good news for EB3 India. For Mexico, it has moved forward by about 2 months from 8th of February 2023 to 1st of April 2023, and for Philippines it has remained the same. Other workers category has remained the same for all chargeability. For China it has moved forward by about a month to 1st of May 2017. For India it has moved forward by about a week, 15th April to 22nd of April 2013. For Mexico and Philippines the dates have remained the same. Now, as usual, as expected, fourth preference category, certain religious category, remains unavailable in the sense that there are absolutely no visa numbers available. So they have made that category unavailable. Now for EB5 unreserved category, the dates remain current for all chargeability, Mexico and Philippines. And for India and for China, the date remains the same as last time. The rest of the chart in EB category for final action date remains the same, current. Now let's look at the filing date chart. This, I would be highly surprised if anything changes. I was expecting a slight change in July because they have been progressing the numbers quarterly based upon if there was any lateral spillovers from all chargeability to the backlog countries. But since since all chargeability or rest of the world is also backlogged, so there is no choice for USCIS to move any dates forward for the rest of the year. So for EB1 category, all chargeability remains current. China, India, Mexico, Philippines, exactly the same. EB2 category, no change for all chargeability. China, India, Mexico or Philippines. EB3, no change for all chargeability. China, India, Mexico or Philippines. Other workers category, exactly the same. Fourth preference category, exactly the same. Certain religious category, exactly the same. The rest of the chart remains exactly the same. So although I was expecting some progression because it was the final quarter of the year, this is when they do the lateral spillovers from category to category. So from rest of the world category to backlog countries such as China and India, but looks like they don't have any spillovers to do that change. So these dates are going to remain the same for the rest of the year. Now, if you see final action chart for EB2 and EB3 India, there is slight movement remaining for the remainder of the year, but for EB1 category, there is no progression expected until at least October. So sorry about that. EB1 will remain static for at least rest of the fiscal year until October. We'll see in October. I am expecting a little bit of a jump by a couple of months for EB1. Now let's see if there are any notes at the bottom. US government special employee immigrant visas, so SIV. So this is for those special visas that were impacting the Afghan nationals and so on. So which does not pertain to my audience. So what does this mean? As I mentioned, don't expect any forward movement for EB1 category for India or China for the remainder of the year in final action chart. Unfortunately, you'll be stuck at 22nd of February. Well, technically, EB1A in EB1 India is supposed to meet 15th of April 2022 by the end of September, but we haven't seen any progress in the final action chart, although the filing date chart date is slightly ahead. So what does that tell me? Although there are visa numbers available due to which USCIS has set the date to April 22nd, there are these zombie applicants from the past who have just risen from the past and come ahead of you. They just put their application, get their priority date in EB1A category and get ahead of the line and get their visa numbers. So that is what is happening in my opinion. So I wouldn't be surprised if the dates don't move forward for the remainder of the year. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about EB1 category, why the dates are not moving given the current circumstances. EB2 and EB3, however, I will expect to see some forward movement even in the final action chart. Now let's talk about some revocations. Now in the last video, I had talked about EB1A, how I am seeing a lot of approvals for I-140 in EB1A. And that is a true statement. As I said in the past, I'm getting at least 2 to 3 people reporting me every week saying that they have got their EB1A approved in I-140. One of the main cautions that I tell people is EB1A is self-petitioning. You have to put a lot of effort in the preparation. You have to put a lot of effort in understanding the criteria, understanding what is required for the evidences, and understanding what are the pitfalls to avoid. You need to do that homework. If you have all that figured out, if you have all the evidences ready, then it's a much easier process. It has a high possibility of getting your approval. But some people take shortcuts in the sense that people report to me that they have hired a certain agency. There are n number of agencies in the US and also working out of India. And I keep telling people during my calls, during my Calendly invites, and also during my masterclass that be very cautious of those consulting agencies. What they claim to do is they will take your money, 15,000, 20,000, 25,000, whatever it is, and they will say that they will create evidences for you. They will actually apply for awards and recognitions on your behalf. Now, who knows if these awards are legitimate? USCIS is not that stupid. They know what is real and what is not real. If there is a visa officer that is picky and who has attention to the details, they will scrutinize your application. If they get a hint that somebody else has applied for an award on your behalf and acquired it, or somebody else has actually drafted your publications and your white papers and whatever you have done, if they get a hint of that, they will revoke your petition. And that is what is happening actually. So I have seen in the news, in certain number of news, and I'll put those links in the comment section below, but USCIS has started revoking the green cards, the I-140s for EB1A, who they believe have misrepresented. What does misrepresentation mean? That you really did not have those articles, publications, or those awards, and you had somebody do it for you, and that's how you got your evidences. Now USCIS is catching those individuals. So as I say in my one-on-ones with people, also in my masterclass, I keep hammering on this topic that even if you are going through a consultant, make sure you do your homework. You are the best judge of yourself. Nobody else can tell you that you are expert in something. You have to figure that out yourself. So build your case yourself, write a cover letter yourself, understand the criteria yourself, and make a petition yourself. Only once you are ready, then you go to a lawyer or a consultant to make a submission of the application. That is my advice to you. And in fact, I would go further and say, don't go through non-immigration lawyers such as those consultants to file your petition. I personally never file a single petition for anybody. I don't talk about the filing forms. I don't fill out forms for anybody. I don't prescribe any fees or anything like that. All I do is give out information and give out knowledge regarding the process. And that's how it should be. The only people who can file your petition are the immigration lawyers. So keep that in mind. So I just wanted to let you know about these frauds that are happening. And once you get revoked for your I-140, it's going to stay on your profile for a long time. That will haunt you for your immigration journey for a long time. So don't go through that. Be careful before you give any money to your consultants. And last topic I wanted to cover is CBP is cracking down on people who had overstayed their visas. Now, time and time again, I talk to many people who have lost their jobs on H-1B, L-1, and they try to remain in the United States until they get their future job. And yes, eventually they get the job, but they risk living in the US for extended period of time when they were not authorized to live. And that remains as a record in your file. And although you get approvals and extensions for your current visa, the background check during the green card process is much more scrutinized than your visa extensions. So people may think that I have been getting my visa extensions in spite of the issue that I had with the overstay in the past. That is a false complacency. You may not be that lucky during your green card process. So what I suggest is, if you run out of time in the US, if you lose your job while on H-1B, you have to leave the country within 60 days of your last payroll date or your I-94 expiry date, whichever comes first. So this you have to follow. All the students, all the people on the visa should follow this. Another thing to remember is don't get involved in these political rallies and political situations in the university or on the streets. You're on a visa, you're at risk. in this administration to get your visa revoked if you get yourself caught in those situations. With that, I will stop. If you need to talk to me, set up a Calendly time with me for 30 minutes and I will give you my suggestion what I would do if I were in your situation. Also check out the link in the description for EB1A Masterclass, which will happen in July, on July 13. So check out that link as well. And if you like the content of this video, hit the like button, comment on this channel, and I'll see you in the next one.